My name is Patrick Pizzati, P-E-Z-Z-A-T-I, 60 years old next week. My job is owner of record stores, this one and two other ones. So I've been working in record stores since 1986, which is 37 years. And I've owned Turn It Up, which first started in Northampton, Massachusetts, since 1995, so 27 years. And this one since 2003, so 20 years. The first thing was that I didn't have a job. So both the first record store job that I got in 1986, I just finished university, and I didn't have a job. And so I saw there was a record store was hiring, and I went in and I got a job. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this for a little while I figure out what else I'm going to do. And then I just stayed there for a while. Then I moved, this was in Boston, then I moved to Western Massachusetts where I live now. And I met my wife, and again, I didn't have a job, and so we started talking about, what to do, and we decided to open a record store. And so in 1995, we opened a record store, and we're still doing it. So that's pretty much the story. But the more important thing is, I love music. I love being around people talking about music. Like I say, there's a lot of things about the job that maybe aren't super fun, but the talking about music part, I would do that for free. The first album that I bought. So the first album that I owned when I was 5 years old, I had the Beatles' White Album.
I told you about strawberry fields. You know the place where nothing is real.
But I didn't buy it in a record store myself. The first time I went into a record store and bought a record myself, I was probably 12 or 13. I think it was Genesis, Wind and Wuthering.
Like the dust that settles all around me, I must find a new home.
The role of music is so many different things. It brings people together. It makes people happy, and it helps people when they're troubled. It's almost like therapy. People listen to music when they're feeling sad, when they're feeling happy, when they want to party, when they want to be by themselves. All sorts of different things. There's a lady who's a customer here, and she does music for Alzheimer's patients, for people with dementia. And she says that even if they don't remember her name or they don't remember anything, but they remember music, because music is just a part of your consciousness, and like Tony Bennett, for instance, famous singer, he doesn't recognize people anymore because he's 95 or something, but he still remembers all the songs. Yeah. So we have, we still have a lot of CDs. A lot of record stores now do mostly vinyl. We still have a lot of CDs, and we sell a lot of CDs. We sell some movies, not as much, but we just have kind of music everywhere you look. Lots of displays, lots of things where you're gonna look at something and say, oh, that looks great, because a lot of times you might not know what you're looking for, and that's why you come in the record store, and then you see something, you say, oh, what's that record? And then you maybe you read the back and you say, wow, this is something cool that I'd like to check out. So we do a lot of visual stuff with music. So the first thing is that when I was really young, my cousin was Bob Dylan's girlfriend. And so she's on the cover of this record, which is the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
And so I was, even when I was really, really little, we always had Bob Dylan records. This one is probably my favorite one, Highway 61 Revisited.
Once upon a time you dressed so fine, through the bumps of dime in your prime. Then
you know, my family was very involved in politics and in music, and so there was always a lot of music and stuff going on around the house. So that was something that was from the time before I can remember, I was hearing some of this music. But I also, you know, I listen to a lot of newer music. And I'm always trying to discover new music, and I still get excited about like a new record, even though, you know, I've been doing this for, you know, almost 40 years, but I still get excited about new records. And here in town, there's a place called the Stone Church where a lot of good bands play. And one of the bands that plays there that played there recently is Barishi. So Barishi are a heavy metal band from here in Brattleboro, Vermont. And the guitar player is Graham Brooks, who works in this shop sometimes. So I do like that band, but I like a lot of new bands. I like to try to go to shows when I can. Yeah, and in this town you have places, like I said, like the Stone Church, where there's music that happens all the time. At the Latches Theater, you have concerts there. You know, that's what makes you can have a good record store in a town where there's a lot of music happening. So that's why we're here. All right. Excellent.
Thank you.